Thank you to everybody for joining the launch party for our favorite or your future favorite webtoon, Light Within Shadow. So I am Apollo, and I am joined today by the amazing Blue, and let's go ahead and jump into this. So Blue, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you taking out the time to do this. It's really nice also just in the sense of getting a chance to talk to a creator about their series one-on-one. So I just want to say a quick thank you to you.
Paulo, well, thank you for having me here and just putting all this together. Um, Honestly, I'm a little bit I don't want to say embarrassed, but I don't know what the right word to use here is. But I'm excited, so we'll go with that.
No need to be nervous. None of that, okay? We're just happy that, to see a creator thriving as they're making their own webtoon. So before we dive into the webtoon, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm pretty much a huge nerd. Like video games. I draw dumb things all the time. Uh, and by dumb, I just mean whatever the heck pops into my head at the time. um, I've been doing comics for quite a while. Probably since junior high. And
Oh, wow.
just I think that's all for now that I can think of.
That's crazy, to be honest. So you have a little bit of experience then, huh? Did you go to college for art, or was it something completely separate? Is this just like a passion project, or have you always wanted to be an artist?
I've always liked drawing, and I've always wanted to be an artist. And it's funny because I always flip flops. And when you're a kid, I was like, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to be a doctor or a fireman. But I've always drawn, always liked to draw, and always did these little silly comics or like flip book animations and post-it notes.
Oh, nice, nice. Flipbook animation and post-it notes. That's crazy. I don't have, I think, the talent or the skill to sit there and work my way through a flipbook illustration. That's super cool though. Enjoying following you, and I follow you more closely on Instagram, so it's really awesome getting to see all of the art that you've been creating, especially lately. Like I feel like you've really been experimenting with a lot of stuff, so I'm hoping to see that in the new series too. I feel like maybe some of that was like little glimpses of what we're in store for.
Yeah. I've been kind of doing more painterly. I've been leaving the painterly kind of look for just single illustrations. But I like it so much that I'm like starting to integrate it more into the comic. So, I mean, we'll see how far it goes with the comic because, man, it does take a while. It's like comics already take forever to do as it is.
Yeah, but it looks so good, like so amazing.
Can't do math. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Oh, Jelly. Don't unsubscribe. Like, we want you here. So let's just let's keep pushing forward. Like, let's talk about what everybody's basically here for. Light Within Shadow. So I'm pretty excited to talk about this, but before we just dive right into it, I know that you created a trailer for an event that another YouTuber hosted not too long ago. So let's just look at that, and then we can kind of like build off of that. So, like, also, I'm just gonna say, like, I had to put your thumbnail in the slideshow because I was just like, man, this thing pops off. Like, I would totally, if I was walking down the street, who walks anymore? If I was like scrolling on Instagram or YouTube and I saw this, I would click and look. Like, I would see what was happening. So, it looks so good. All right, let's dive right in. my good grief. Like I every time I watch this, I just want more. Like, why, Blue? Why didn't you give us more? Oh.
Honestly, I was time crunching this like so bad. And actually, the song isn't even what I wanted to use on it, but YouTube, copyright gods, and all that noise.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my good grief. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But that looks
Yeah,
so
no, we
good.
won't mention that.
Was that your first animation?
No, I've done animation a lot.
Okay,
It's just
because
I don't have the patience for it.
I was gonna say, like, it looks super good.
Thanks.
Oh man. So why don't you just tell us then, like, building off of that trailer, like, what is Light Within Shadow?
Well, Light Within Shadow is kind of like an action adventure. Just young adults, kind of, my theme was just young adults in general finding their way in the world, except, it's fantasy based, so it's pretty crazy junk happening along the way. And you meet up with people of all ages and backgrounds in life, and you just throw in a lot of the monsters and magic power elements up in there. It's
Oh,
just meant to be a fun read.
it really gives me like a shonen-esque vibe, like, but with the girl as the main character instead of the dude. Like I feel like
Yeah,
in shonen the girl's all like she cannot be anything other than a side character. Like, so I was really kind of pulled to the series in general just because I like superpowers. Like I always find those super fun and whatnot. And then I always think it's a nice take to have like a girl as a lead character just because it's a different perspective a lot of times. So I just like it. So was there any sort of inspiration that you took from things that you already consumed? Like,
I grew up with anime, so it's funny because I watched a ton of Inuyasha on Adult Swim when it was on. Sometimes I would stay up like stupid late just to watch Inuyasha when it was on Adult. And Yu Yu Hakusho, and funny, I'm dating myself here a little bit because I also loved Captain Planet. That was kind of like the first elemental thing and
oh
gargoyles.
my good grief, Captain Planet. That takes me back. Gargoyles takes me back too. That's like when I was basically a toddler. Gargoyles. Oh my good grief.
I love gargoyles. It's such a cool thing. And then another big thing that's just gone into the writing of the comic is I absolutely love Samurai Jack. Like it's
Ooh.
one of my favorite cartoons, basically.
Oh, okay. Like I totally after you said gargoyles, like I was totally getting some gargoyle vibes and whatnot. I was just like, ooh, I can totally see that. I don't know if I see Samurai Jack yet, but I feel like I don't know it that well either. Like it was one of the series that I just like watched because it was popular when I was little and I don't really remember it for real. But like I can see a lot of inspiration in a just like I could just tell like it has evolved into this amazingness that it is now. And so speaking of the evolution of it, like the main character seems to have gone through like a bunch of different versions of herself. Like was there like do you feel like the one that you have now speaks more to what you wanted or like are you still like working your way through it or is this all like just a growth process? Like what like why is she so different in all of it? Like I thought that was really interesting when I was looking at the older art.
She is definitely pretty much at the spot where I want her now. In fact, when you're looking at these old thumbnails and stuff, even that's like much newer than the very first drawings of her,
Right.
which she looks like a totally different character. um, and I guess for her, what I wanted her to start out, Lysandra, to start out kind of meek, but not a doormat either,
Yeah.
necessarily, and just kind of grows into herself as she gets more more world experience and in general just experiences more in life.
Oh wow. Yeah, I love that. That's so cool. Also, clearly, like people love her. You're getting a bunch of love in the chat for her. So that's awesome. I like that. Like, is there gonna be a really well, maybe that's spoilers. So if you can't answer it, just be like, I can't answer that right now. But um is there going to be a big contrast from what we see her looking like in the beginning towards like the end of the first season?
Mm, probably. There's definitely a lot that's going to go on, and I'm going to say that there is a training arc for her at some point. And I
Mm-hmm.
always make a joke about this in a with my beta readers, or we're gonna get buff Lizzie at some point here.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Like I can't wait to see how she evolves. I like just seeing this makes me feel like you're not too tied to the design and basically Lizzie can pretty much go anywhere from this. Oh, and hello to the yellow turnip and to Suki. Thanks for joining, peeps. I'm always looking for
Hello.
spoilers, people. Like, I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I live for them. I'm one of those people where, like, spoilers don't bother me unless I'm, like, deep, deep into the story. So, like, if somebody was like, yeah, the main character dies and I haven't read the story, I'm just like, ooh, that sounds interesting.
Oh man, that's like Yu Yu Hakusho's beginning, like the first episode.
Oh my god, grief. All right, so let's stay on track. Like, so clearly the series has like just gotten such an amazing reaction, which, you know, people are just loving light within shadow. And so I asked Blue to, pick out some of the favorite comments she has from the older series, things that she really admired. So this may not be every single comment that she's loved or every single comment that she interacted with. Like we picked some that we thought were really nice, and so we're gonna go through a few of them, get some of Blue's thoughts on them, and like just if you see your comment, let us know that you're here. And if you're watching this in the future, you can pause the video and look at the screen and see if your comment made it up there. Like all of this is just, showing appreciation for Blue and for the OG series and for you guys. Like y'all supporting the artist makes such a big difference. Like I feel like, whenever you get a nice little comment on anything on social media, it just gives you a nice little boost to post again. I don't know, maybe.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh man. So let's look at our first slide. So Blue, I'm gonna let you take it away and like point out things that you really enjoyed about these comments or one of these comments or whatever you
Yeah,
liked.
sure. Just the first comment right there. Random dude coming to save your A like a ninja.
Oh man, yeah. Sums up everything perfectly, right?
Pretty much.
that
Yeah.
that should be the tagline for your series.
Just put that in the summary instead. No
Yeah,
context.
yeah.
Fine.
With the sunglasses emoji, obviously. Like it has
Yeah,
to have that.
exactly. It's not the same. And
Oh
the
man.
cactus nice Avatar reference. It totally was an accident. I know where this one came from, that page. It was Zach trying to bribe Lizzie to go with him into the forest. And she likes like this like milk that comes from a cactus,
Hmm.
and also these spicy candies and stuff, and just bribe the heck out of her until she finally
Oh
caved.
my good grief. Like, none of that sounds appealing to me. I don't like spicy candy and I don't like milk. So, like, she would be
You're
ready.
like, no, thank you.
I'm just like,
Move
mm-mm.
along.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, next page. So, one that always like popped out to be just saying was the one where they're like, "Yay, bribery always works."
Saw that one. Yeah, I couldn't include all my favorites because, man, we'd run out of slides here.
We really would have. Like, y'all don't even know. I was trying to compile them into one slide, and it was just like, yeah, nobody's gonna be able to read this.
Apollo pulled through there. MVP.
Oh, my good grief. Also, hello, Matt. Thanks for joining. Glad you can wake up from your nap and jump on.
Thank you.
Oh, and hey, Tay Tay. Yes, me and Blue, we're taking over the YouTube world right now. So, if you're just joining, we're looking at some of the OG comments from Blue's original series.
And Song and its singer, she always does awesome comments. I love reading any comments from her. They're just very nice, insightful comments. And I wanted to talk about that one specifically because that was like a moment of like I was really working on that action page and they're taking out this monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I hope it's obvious that I'm basically using the sword like a lightning rod. And she nailed it on the head there, and I'm like, you amazing person, you.
Oh man. That's probably, I think, whenever I talk to other creators, they love it when like they didn't explain something and yet the fan base still understood exactly what they were going for. I'm like, I feel like those comments would just warm your heart.
Yeah, for real. It just, I try to do that with comics that I read too, but oh man, I read so many comics. I lose track sometimes. And so, anybody here, if I haven't left a comment, then I apologize. It's probably just my dumb brain forgetting things, and even more so now with like pregnancy fog. So stuff happens.
Yeah. Blue is pregnant, y'all, so forgive her. But she's like doing it all. So I mean, you're doing great, Blue. let's just leave it at that. Okay, when I was looking at these, I was just like, okay, clearly I'm Team Jack too. Like, where all the Jack fans at? If you're a Jack fan, sound off in the chat. But like,
I don't know. I don't think you understand what you created in chat just now.
no, I'm here for it. Like that top one where it's like all these Jack simps in the chat, including me. I'm just like, yes, Nick, welcome to the club. Oh man,
Those comments are so funny whenever I see those.
they're so wild. Was there any other comments on here that really stood out to you?
The one, the column all the way on the left there, that's probably like my favorite page.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Because everything was just chaotic. That whole page was pure chaos. And man, all those comments were a riot. Read through.
Oh man, everybody's popping off for Jack. And then Suki's like, I'm Team Zach.
That's all good. Zach's good too.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow. I was like, when you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I don't know what I created, but really, I don't know what I created. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, you've done a good job of crafting a character when like everybody is obsessed with them. Like, I'm here for it. So let's look. What about on the next page? Was there any that stood out to you here? Any that you just really, really enjoyed that made you smile?
Did the slide change, or are we still on the same slide?
It changed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just got a little bit of lag on my side, so I'm like, wait.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We're working through it.
Yeah. Let me see. There it goes. Okay. I really loved Astral Bunny, and that one's the one I wouldn't mind like a couple minutes on that one. Soroko is the teacher, one of the
Hmm.
older people that eventually becomes in the main group and stuff. If she's already is, but maybe not obvious to new readers yet.
Hmm.
And I've always worried that she would come off maybe a little bit unlikable because she's kind of strict,
Hmm.
and is kind of blunt about telling it like how it is.
Right.
And I didn't want that to come off totally unlikable. Like she still very much cares for other people. It's just that maybe she's a little bit more blunt. And when I saw that comment, that totally like, oh, thank goodness. That was like a nice little reassurance that I haven't totally butchered her character.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a tough line to like make when you're crafting a character. You want them stern and like the voice of reason and the reality check for the group, but you also want people to like them. So I feel you on that. So,
And then, oh my gosh, the Kaitano's comment was hilarious. Just because it's just really funny. Especially if you like get it out of context. You're like, what?
oh, there's some love for how do you say her name again?
Oh, Mr. Oko?
Soroko. Yeah, there's a good
Yeah.
bit of love for her in the chat. So that's also really good. It's
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah. So it seems like your main cast of characters are just definitely received super well. Do you have any like little nuggets there, little things you want to share about how you're making them come across so well?
Well, Soroko is actually based off of one of my best friends in real life, like her personality wise. And it's funny, and I'll tell this little story. This friend, I, I met her in junior high, and she totally insulted me the very first time she talked to me, but only because I wouldn't stop talking to her because she was so quiet. And being my extrovert self back then, I'm like, hey, like talk to her every day until she finally talked to me. I didn't even care that it was an insult. I just was happy that she talked to me. And then I don't know how, but we just became really good friends, and she's still my friend, and I'm a 30-year-old fart here, so
And thus your beautiful friendship was born.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Poe was super mean to me when I first met him too, so I feel you. Okay, so we hit the next slide. Was there any that you really enjoyed on this page? Was there something that made you smile?
That escalated quickly. That was from because the first version had a very long, I think it was like page 6 or 7 maybe, when the temple got attacked, the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Call it a shrine now. But when the shrine got attacked, and then this one it's page 4, so it's much sooner, and I've already fixed that problem with this reboot, but I think that took people from like by surprise because it was just such a sudden shift. Like, we're on a nice field trip, explosions, monsters. Oh, never mind.
Right, right. Oh man. Yeah, that's awesome. Like I'm just so happy. It's really nice seeing such nice support for Canvas creators just in general. Like you have so many comments and I'm sure these aren't even like half of all the comments that you got. So that's just super amazing. Like I'm really happy to see Canvas growing and then people just getting support and other creators supporting you. Like that's just awesome.
Oh yeah, it's been such a nice experience, and I really love my reader base. They're very fun and definitely act a lot, which I have a lot of fun in comments with.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
awesome.
so thank you guys. I'm gonna throw that in there real quick.
Yes. thank you, all of you Light Within and Blue fans. Thank you so much for joining the stream today. Really appreciate it. So that kind of brings us into kind of like a little deeper topic here. There's a lot of interesting opinions, I think, about creators relaunching, and especially from my perspective, like, I've always kind of been in the frame of mind of, finish the project you're working on and then start a new one. Don't keep starting the same story over. And so I thought it would be nice to hear your perspective on why you decided to start over, because kind of as we looked at, you have like so many things already done so well, like characters are developed well, like your art's really good, like the plot line is pretty straightforward. Like, even as you were saying, like in your comments, people were understanding things without you even explaining it. So why did you just decide to relaunch? Like, what was your thought process behind that?
Well, funny enough, I'm just gonna talk strictly at this moment about the one that first went up on Webtoon.
Okay.
On Webtoon specifically, and I actually did a book club review in a Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot of really good advice, and just a good outside perspective, because when you're the creator and even my editor, like we know all the background junk and everything else that happens later, but it doesn't necessarily make sense to a new reader. And I'd fallen into that trap, and once I realized that, and I'm being super careful about it now, like, am I giving too much away that a reader wouldn't understand the motive until way later, which isn't necessarily a good thing either. I mean, sometimes it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I was missing stuff that, like, what is my main character's motive? Like, what does she want? They didn't have that until much later, until, like, chapter 2, practically.
Oh, wow.
Which is, like, a bit late, for the main lead.
Yeah. Especially...
And, that... Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, especially with the way Webtoons, like, just comparing it to like a lot of webtoons or web comics, I should say, like, you seem to get a lot of motivations really quickly, like within the first few episodes, within the first chapter sort of thing, like what the character wants. So that's an interesting point.
Yeah, and it's just, especially in comics, it's one thing with books. It's different. You got a different mindset with a book.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, like when I'm reading books, I have like a whole library of
it totally is, because like comparing how much you would read, because generally I know a lot of book readers will give a story like a first chapter, maybe even the first few chapters, and if you translate that into like webtoons, like reading a webtoon, like a first chapter is probably like 50 episodes for like a standard book.
Such a longer time stamp,
Yeah,
it takes forever to get there. You gotta draw it all out. Like, what, 30 panels takes me 2 weeks to do, because it's just me. My editor helps me with the writing and will look for grammar spelling issues, but he doesn't draw or do any of that. That's all me.
Yeah. So you have a lot on your plate, and I can understand that too. Like you were saying, you kind of like, because you have so much background in your head on the story, like you can get a little lost in the story, thinking like this is obvious, or like this makes complete sense. And I can totally see too, just getting some outside critique from some people that you really trust, and who aren't going to like be offensive or hurtful to you. Like, they're not trying to hurt your feelings. Like, they tell you things in a constructive manner. Like, I can really see that being beneficial too. So
absolutely, I completely agree. And I want to tell people this too, that flaming and critique are two different things here. So it's hard to take critique. I ain't gonna say it's easy.
Yeah, no, it is
helpful.
really hard. It is. And just thinking about the fact that, like, you got that critique from your book club, which also I would say, like, if you have some people, it doesn't matter who it is, if they, to a reasonable degree, you trust them and you feel that you vibe with their opinion, they're going to be honest with you, get you some help where you can. But other than that, like, I think that's so cool that you had this book club. They gave you, some helpful hints to help improve the story. And you took it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
decided to just like, okay, I'm going to make this work.
Yeah, and it's nice because a lot of them weren't, a lot of them are romance readers. But,
Mm,
don't never discount whatever somebody has to say. And I mean, you could definitely take not all advice is good advice or works for you, and that's
right.
okay, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good to listen to. Just take it in and see what you can take from it.
Yes, yes. That's just such an amazing point in general. That's the one thing I will say to anybody. Just because someone gives you a critique doesn't mean you have to listen to it. I think there was a creator, an original webtoon creator that was talking about one of their editors or whatever, and they were saying basically that the editor disagreed with what they wanted to do, and they were like, no, I want to do this. Like, they didn't go into specifics, but and they were like, no, I want to do this, and the creator ended up being right. And so sometimes, we have to be our best judge. Like, we can't rely on someone else's validation to help us make these decisions. So
Yep.
I just want to say, Blue, like, you are so brave, because I could never. Like, I was looking, how many episodes did you have before you relaunched?
Like 34,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, like, I could never. I'd be like, dot, 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 dot.
And you know what's funny? It's even crazier. Probably some people here are probably going to think I'm nuts when I say this. The very first version of Light Within Shadow, I drew in high school, like early high school, and it was like 2,000 pages or something, 3,000, something like that. Really
Yes.
crazy number. It was all drawn on paper. And then I got the digital one that went on DeviantArt a long time ago
Oh my
in the
good
Stone
grief.
Ages, and that went up to 300 pages. That was strictly a redraw of the old first version,
Hmm.
and I didn't change any of the writing. I just upped the art, and then I was like, "What is happening here? I can't follow the story." As I got better with writing, I'm like, "What is happening?" And yeah, it's been a long journey.
Oh my good grief. Y'all, should we have Blue back to look at her old DeviantArt account and see what Light Within Shadow originally looked like? Like,
No.
let us know in the chat, please. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So, that's pretty cool. I will say, talking to you about the relaunch thing, I can definitely see a more positive perspective on it opposed to my original thoughts on it. So I'll say you've almost convinced me, not 100%, but I won't look at relaunches as black and white as I used to. So,
Wait.
huh?
Success, kinda.
What?
Success, kind
Oh,
of.
yeah, yeah. Half success, half success. So, as we continue to go through the stream, we thought we would do some like little fun activities, like trying to spice it up a little bit for the launch. Because one, all of y'all are low key fans or high key fans, as all of the Jack simps showed up. So, we thought that we would do a few rounds of basically like we'll say a scenario, and then y'all in the chat will tell us who you would want to take with you on the scenario. And you can say why, or you can just say who it is or whatever. And we'll also say, I guess we'll participate. I feel like that would only be fair, right, Blue?
Down.
So we'll also participate. And so we'll be discussing it while y'all type in your answers in the chat, okay? All right, so do you want me to start with the scenarios? I can't remember. Am I doing all the scenarios? Like, I have a lot written down, so I
I
can.
think so. I don't know what you have written down. I forgot to ask. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. Let's start with an easy one. Of the 5 characters listed, who would you want to be your best friend? So y'all answer in the chat. And Blue, that would probably be really hard for you as the creator, but we want to know.
Oh man, I'm just gonna say Lucky here because doggo.
Oh, that's who I picked too. Like, okay, first of all, he's drawn adorably, and then second of all, I feel like I could like he could be my transportation. Like
The big dog.
He is like. I feel like that would just sum everything up. Like if you were the kid at school and like you showed up one day on the back of your wolf, like nobody would mess with you. Like literally nobody.
Instantly the cool kid at school.
Yeah, instantly the cool kid, the feared kid, and the kid you know not to mess with, like ever, period. All right, let's look at the chat. Let's see. All right, we got a Zach. So I was kind of expecting that. We've got a few Lizzies. What? Okay.
Cool.
No, she is, but like I was expecting more Zach people to show up for this one. But that's cool. Also, we've got 2 man, I am blanking on her name. No, we've got 3. 3 of the, how do you say her name again? With the S?
Sirocco. You can call her Gem if you want.
Yes, I'm gonna call her Gem.
There you go.
Okay, Gem. Okay, I'm here for that. All right, that one's also super cool. Okay. All right, so next scenario. Who would you want to take to a barbecue?
Taking Lizzie.
What? Okay.
I'm not taking Jack because he's gonna eat everything.
I was thinking Lizzie too, just because I was like, I think I could convince her to go bring me food and I would never have to like leave where I was sitting. Like, that was my reasoning. I was just like, she would go and get stuff and I would be like, yup, thank you very much. Like, I would be so grateful. I feel like everybody else, like, would be like, no, you're lazy. Like, get up and go get your own food. You're lazy.
Yeah, definitely not taking Jack or Lucky to a barbecue because you will not eat anything.
Oh my good grief, that's funny. Why would you take Lizzie?
Lizzie would just be fun conversation, I think. And I'm just not much of a because Jem likes wine and fancier foods a little bit.
Ooh.
And Lizzie's a little bit more laid back. And I feel like that'd be fun at a barbecue.
Okay, people are like, Zach would be so much fun at a barbecue. Do you agree or disagree?
Totally agree. And actually, this is a little funny thing that we haven't seen in comic, even in the old one yet, but he's a great cook.
What?
So that dude would be making some nice food at the barbecue.
Oh, he would be at the grill. Okay, like clearly my table would. I picked the wrong person. Sorry, Lizzie, move out the way. Like clearly, I'm going with the chef. Oh my good grief. Okay. Let's see. Was there any last comments? Nope. Everybody, I think it's pretty unanimous on this one. Everybody's kind of feeling Zach. Like everybody wants Zach there. All right.
Good picks.
Yes. Okay.
Apron moves, yeah, with the pink apron.
Yes, please. I want to see that. That needs to be an Easter egg in an episode in the future.
It'll be an end card someday, I'm sure, or return. You never know. It'll be back in the comics someday.
Ooh, I'm so here for that. Okay. Next question. Who would you want to take on a date? So I don't know if you could answer that, Blue. And I was also unsure about this one because I wasn't sure how old all of your characters were. So I'm going to say if they were the appropriate. Adults, I was like appropriate age. Anybody. oh yeah. I was like. So it's always weird when you're picking between your children. So I'm gonna exempt you from this one, Blue. So
yes.
I'm like.
I
Your
give my
simp.
blessings.
Yes,
That's about
yes,
it.
yes. Listen, I'm feeling Jim. Like when you were like she's into fancier food, I was like, oh, she might take care of me. So
Oh, you're gonna go wine tasting and fancy cheese eating there.
yes, yes, yes. Like I'm clearly my life goal apparently is to be like a house husband or something. Like
That's not a bad goal.
oh my good grief. Okay, so oh see, Thea knows what's up. Like clearly we have refined taste, clearly. Okay,
People of culture. Yeah.
we'll do two more questions. So since this is an action series, who would you want to be your sidekick? Okay, I think you have to answer this one, Blue. Like I
Thinking about
I'm like
one's hard.
I think you have to you can't be exempt from this one. You gotta pick.
Probably
The
a little. I'm gonna say a little bit of spoilers here for me. I would probably take Lucky,
ooh.
only because spoilers. But
Ooh.
Jack is also a good one for adventuring because he could definitely kick some butts.
Ooh, so there's a few Luckies, and it looks like a split between Jack and Lucky. I was actually thinking Lizzie. Like, am I the only one who's like, I want Lizzie as my sidekick? Is that just me?
I mean, it's hard because I mean, eventually they all will get really good at fighting and stuff in
Yeah,
comic.
yeah.
So, you know, not a bad choice either way.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I'm just like, I just feel like she has hidden potential, and so for the time being, like we would kind of be growing together sort of thing. So I would be like learning, she would be learning, and instead of it being like hero sidekick, we would be like sidekick or hero. And so like we would just like grow up respecting each other, and then eventually she'd do all the work.
Absolutely. There you go. That is a good logic.
As you see, all of my solutions to all of these is to find somebody who's going to do the stuff for me. Oh my good grief. Okay, all right, so last question. Of the five characters, who would you like to go dancing with? And this can be multiple people, it can be one person, it can be whatever you want. So,
I think for me, again, a little bit of a spoiler, but Soroko's a good dancer.
as she should be. Like, what refined person isn't? Like, she probably knows, like, the 1700 waltzes. Like, oh, wait, this isn't in our Earth, but you know what I'm saying. Like, she is a lady of class. And what do they do when they grow up? They learn to dance for some reason.
So definitely a good dancer. Zach would be just very fun to dance with.
Oh my good grief. I think I would want all of them just for the chaos. Like I think that would be so much fun to have like Lucky on the dance floor, like Soroka Jim. I'm gonna keep calling her Jim. But
Yeah.
Jim over there like doing her own thing, like trying to correct the dances and then like just pure chaos. Pure chaos. Like I would love it so much. Can
Oh,
Lucky dance?
at Adagon Art, well, Jem is definitely the best dancer of the group. Jack actually can, but it's not his main fighting style. That's something we get into later, and that's a little more spoiler territory. Lucky
Ooh.
will probably be doing the funny dog meme dance. If you've ever seen that, there's just bobbing back and forth. And he'd be having fun doing it, so,
He
you know, whatever.
would. He would. Like, I'm here for all of it. Like, that's super fun. Yes, so Sarah agrees with me. We want the chaos. Like, that is what I want 100%. Pure chaos where you're just like, is this even a dance party anymore? Like, what is happening?
Lizzie could probably figure out a dance, but isn't as good as Sirocco is.
Oh my good grief. I'm just here for a good time. So, like,
Yeah.
as long as we're having a good time at the party, I'm here for it. Okay, okay.
Just flap around a little bit. It's fine.
Okay, okay. So that was our last question. That was actually pretty fun. I'm gonna have to save that one, and we'll maybe in the future we can do something similar to this in the future. So, like, that was a lot of fun. To me anyway. Oh, okay. All right. Let's keep moving forward. So, with all of that in mind and everything, you guys, if y'all like a thing that we do during the stream, let me know. So, in the future, whenever I do another launch event or something like that, I can kind of have a good gauge of what games to include. So, now we've kind of hit the point of the amazing Blue has decided to do a giveaway for all of y'all. And so basically, well, I'll let you tell them what you're awarding to the people who showed up to the stream today.
Well, I am wanting to offer, the relaunch has gone so well, and I've gotten just amazing support from friends and just readers alike, and I wanted to give a full colored commission within reason, no adult scenes and stuff like that.
Nothing
It's just not
adult.
my thing.
XXX. That's out.
Yeah, it's not my thing. But so the way this will work is just how many of you are in chat? Maybe we should do like 1 through like 10.
Yeah.
1 to
So it's
20.
saying that there's 10 in chat. So
Okay.
yeah, let's
We
go.
can just do like maybe 1 through 20 then or something.
Yeah,
That
I was
way.
gonna say like double it up just in case somebody like
Okay.
joins and then they like shout out a number too.
So everybody, if you want to be in the giveaway in chat, just write a number between 1 through 20, and I'm just gonna do a random Google number picker, and we'll go from there. Whoever's closest or even dead on, then you win. And I will contact you through DMs or however you want me to contact you.
Yeah, so I'll have all of Blue's information linked at the end of the video so you can, get all of her socials and whatnot, and that way you'll be able to contact her directly. And if there is any confusion or something like that, you can always contact me and I can make sure that you can get in contact with Blue. So that's awesome though, Blue. Like a fully colored commission. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I want to enter.
Go for it if you want.
No. I'm not going to. Not this time. Okay, so we'll give y'all just like a few more seconds, and then we will do the randomizer.
Oh, for doubles, we'll do a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
if there's
yeah.
doubles.
So if somebody has your number, just put it out anyway, and then if the number is that number, then we'll do a tiebreaker between the two of y'all.
Yeah, so no worries.
Yeah. So while we're waiting on that, second person pick a number, perhaps. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think.
Is everybody picked a number?
Yeah. Are we all wrapped up there? Has everybody entered? So we'll just give them a few more seconds and then we'll move on.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that's going to be it pretty much. Oh, look, there's another one. But I'm thinking that's going to be pretty much it. So that's awesome though. What's what's your favorite character to draw? Or should I say what's the easiest character for you to draw?
For me, Lucky.
Yeah, I was like, let me rephrase. Favorite is always hard. Like whenever you ask a creator, who's your favorite character? They're like, can you not like so I was like, let's go with easiest. So that's cool. Do you like drawing animals in general or?
I do. I actually started drawing animals. Like, that was my life. Because I went to the zoo all the time. Because my dad worked for a school district. And so he was able to get us into the zoo for free a lot.
Oh man, nice.
So, yeah, we went to the zoo a lot, and I just drew animals all the time.
Oh, hello,
Hello.
Peter XYZ. So glad you could stop by to the stream.
Okay, should I pick winners? Is
Yeah, yeah,
anybody
go ahead.
everyone's got a number?
I think that's enough time. Like we waited a good bit. So,
Peter, did you want to be a part? Blah, I can't talk.
Peter
Did you want to
XY.
be a part of the commission giveaway?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you do, then you would pick a number between 1 through 20.
Augusta, it is like picking who your favorite child is. But the thing about that is, in my opinion, a lot of parents have favorites and they just don't say it. Like they know, they just don't say it.
Oh no.
Not every parent. Like some parents are good about it, but some parents I'm like, you say that, but like one of your children is like driving a BMW and the other one like got a hoopty.
Oh, okay, hold on. We need a tiebreaker here. It literally picked 8.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
So
who was
Augusta
that?
and Sarah. And pick a new number. Bye, Suki. I hope your hair comes out very nice.
Oh, thanks for being awesome, Peter.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for dropping by the stream, Suki. Really appreciate the support.
Yes, thank you.
Me and Augusta are vibing tonight. Like we are of one mind, clearly.
Oh,
Okay.
so before I forget, so Sarah Y and Augusta, uh, yeah, I picked 8, so you guys gotta pick a new number. Because you guys are in the tiebreaker. You both picked the same number.
Yes, yes. So, new numbers, please.
We'll still do 1 through 20, so.
Yes. Go with my favorite number, 18. But if you lose, don't blame me.
Yeah, 1 through 20.
Yes. Whoever is the closest wins. You know, flipping a coin would have been the right way to go, too.
Yeah. I just
but
figured
but
the
we're
raffle.
already doing 1 through 20, so we're not going to change now.
Yeah. What's. Are you sure? It's okay if you want to try. You can. Sketchbook face. It's up to you.
Sarah, you can enter, and then if you decide to, I guess you could give it to Augusta, right? If she wins?
Yeah. Totally up to you what you want to
Yeah.
do. 17 and 11. All right, let's do it.
Let's see.
I literally picked 17.
Oh! Listen,
So Augusta wins.
I influenced that because I said 18, so I'm taking all the credit.
Well, congrats, Augusta.
Congrats, Augusta. That's so awesome. We can't wait to see what you get commissioned. That is so cool.
Sorry, I was saying goodnight to my son.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. If you need to mute yourself for a moment, you can.
I'm all done.
Okay.
Just wanted to come in and give me a hug and say goodnight.
Oh, adorable. So cute. So, snaps all around. Congratulations to Augusta. That's awesome. All right, so let's keep on trucking through this relaunch party. So, we've got just a little bit more, but I thought we could do just a brief Q&A. So Blue basically asked all of her amazing, wonderful, spectacular followers to send her in some questions. And so she's going to answer the ones that she wants to answer. All right, Blue, so take it away.
Okay, hold on. It hasn't popped up on my side yet.
Yeah.
No,
no worries. No worries.
there it goes. Okay, let's see. think I discussed why I wanted to make a comic. I just like to draw and tell stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing fancy there.
You just
I
like
like
to
to
live
draw.
your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no worries, Kendall. That's super
Oh, thank
late.
you
Get
for
some
staying up
rest.
and hanging with us for a little while. Hopefully in the future, maybe I can do something a little earlier for people on the other side of the world.
And thank you for coming though. I mean, really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, get some
awesome.
rest.
Good night.
Okay, let's see.
So, Blue.
Okay, has your story gone through any major changes since you first thought up the story? Yes. Kind of went over this a little bit already.
Yeah.
It definitely has, and the most notable is that my my high school self was just all up into the anime tropes. Every anime trope you can think of, it was in that first version.
Oh my good
Like,
grief. Reverse harem?
well, no, I mean, I guess not
No, I
harem.
was kidding. I was kidding. Like, I knew that one was a wild one. I was like,
But definitely a lot of tropes, and a lot of them are just thrown in because I thought it would be funny, and that's it.
mm-hmm.
No, no, no real thought put into that.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's changed a lot since that.
I mean, as you should, though. I feel like around that time, those are like really formative creating areas. So it's like branch out and just write it and see what happens.
Yeah, just have fun.
Right, right.
Is there any specific type of research you do for your world building? I actually look at mythology a lot. I'm a huge mythology nerd, like
Ooh.
Greek or Norse, Celtic, Japanese, you name it. I probably know a little bit about it. You know,
Oh, nice. That's actually really cool. I think mythology is probably one of the coolest like world building aspects in like most stories. Like all of it's always super rich. Like,
yeah, it's really cool to see what different cultures put down for that sort of stuff,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and just very neat. And what's the hardest part about making a comic for you? The line art. Anybody that knows me well enough or even streams with me sometimes, you will hear me complain like, oh my gosh, I hate doing the lines. I am not a line artist. I do
Right,
my best, but it's
right.
not my love.
Oh my good grief. That's still cool though. So, what's your favorite part? Like, what do you enjoy doing the most?
Coloring. I love the color.
I mean, it
Like,
really
if I could color
shows.
the comic all day, I'd be happy.
Like, your coloring is so amazing.
Oh, I appreciate it. I try hard on it.
Clearly, we need to have you back to do like a coloring tutorial. All right.
I mean, people want it.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so maybe I'll read the questions for you, and then that way you're not like reading it to yourself. Like
Oh,
as you were
sure.
doing it, I was like, huh, maybe I should be doing that. Okay, so I wasn't that curious before, but now I really do wonder what your favorite drink is.
Super basic. I like lemonade.
Oh my good
I'm
grief.
not fancy in the least.
That's hilarious. Oh, so you got a trade offer in the chat. So you
Got
could
a
have
trade
just
offer?
found a line artist right there.
Okay, let me just shout him out real quick. Kaitano's lines are like godly, along with Augusta's line work. If you haven't seen their comics, you should.
Yes, check them out, please. Shout outs to both of those amazing people.
And I'll shout them out more formally later
Yeah, yeah.
at the end.
Okay, so if you were a Varan, I don't know if I'm saying that right. What
Oh,
would your
Varen. Yeah.
Viren? What would your element be?
Oh man, that one's so hard. I wanted to say water because it's a very versatile one, but honestly, I love lightning. It's so cool.
And
I
so
would
for
love to be a
those who
lightning
don't know,
Baron.
what are all the elements?
So we have the basic ones, so water, earth, wind, and fire, and then we have lightning and shadow also. And we've seen a little bit of all of them to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
At least, well, maybe not in this new relaunch until page 4, maybe. Maybe at the later pages of the relaunch.
Right.
But to some extent, we have seen them all, even if you didn't know what they were at the time.
Interesting. Interesting. I will reserve, no one's asking me, but I will reserve my thoughts for later. So, because I feel like I would pick water too, but I gotta see what lightning and shadow is really looking like later. So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So, what is the meaning of life? And that's all you. Like, I'm not even gonna interject on this one.
Well, I'm just gonna say 42 and leave it at that.
Oh, okay. We're leaving it. We're leaving it mysterious. I
Yeah, what
like
is the
it.
meaning of life? 42. And go with that.
Okay, so they said also, can you share your contact links in the video description maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
add
yeah.
I'll add the links and everything afterwards. I should have done it beforehand. I didn't think about it, but just as soon as we're done with the stream, I'm gonna add all of that in.
Appreciate it. I was just commented.
Yeah, yeah. Um, don't worry. I'll handle it. 100%. All
Thank
right.
you.
So let's look at these. So how long has this story been with you? I think
Oh
you
man, well, you guys got already a glimpse. It's junior high,
yeah.
since junior high,
Yeah.
and I'm 30, so you know, it's
Your
been a while.
your entire existence.
Pretty much.
What's your favorite technique you use?
Exactly how to answer that, I guess. Recently I've been coloring more like how I paint, so using my whole arm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know if you would call that a technique, but that's what I do.
I mean, I guess it would be a technique. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So, I
Yeah.
would say yes. So, what's your ultimate goal for Light Within Shadow?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I want to finish it, and I think that's a lot of comic artists. You want to
Yeah.
finish your story, probably.
Yeah. Just
But also just if I'm being real, like I would love to be able to make at least even a very meager living with that, or even just art in general.
mhm. Mhm.
Ideally the comic would be really cool. I would love to be picked up as an original. You
Mhm.
didn't hear
Mhm.
that from me. but
Webtoons.
but I'm gonna be sad about it if it never happens. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it definitely can happen. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of hustle, but that's another
Yeah.
conversation. All right. So, are
Yeah.
you entering the call to action contest?
Yes, I am. It's a prequel fight a little bit. So if you're curious, it's with Jack and a character that has been semi-introduced in the comic so far. I won't
Ooh,
give spoilers for that, but yeah.
very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so because of time constraints, we won't be able to finish the last questions in this box, but let's look at the ones on the other side. So we have, I think this is kind of like a two-part thing. So it says favorite character of the editor. And then there's another one, have the editor draw a character. So do you want to explain what they're receiving?
Okay, so my editor gave me an answer that his favorite character has been partially introduced, and he would rather me not say the full name of this character yet. But we have seen them in some form or another in the comic. And characters that are currently in the comic or will show up soon is Gallus. He really likes Gallus. And also the editor drew Lucky down there waving at you guys. And he was very adamant about telling you guys that he is waving at you with his crazy paw hand thing.
Aw, adorable. So we actually got a question in the chat. And so just because since they asked in the chat, I'm like, yeah, we could possibly answer it. It says, what do you do in balancing personal health with physicality of drawing? How do you stay healthy as an artist?
Well, normally, well, right now I can't because I'm like 8 months pregnant. But I like to go run. I'd like to lift weights. And I would like to get up and stretch when I'm starting to feel my legs, from hours of drawing. Drink a lot of water. Underrated is all heck. Drink your water, people.
Yes, yes. I bought one of those water jugs that's like, this is where you're supposed to be at throughout the day, and I promise, like, I don't know what it is, but it has made it to the point where it's really helping me drink water. It's so weird. Like, it's a
But
mental
yeah,
thing, I guess. I don't know. But
yeah,
yes,
I bought a
please
big
drink
old
water.
giant water jug, and
Yeah.
oh man.
Yes, please drink water, people. Also, hello, Josie. Glad you can make it. Sorry I missed
Hello.
your comment earlier. So this brings us to our countdowns. So to wrap everything up, Blue, I wanted to leave this spot for you to just offer some thank yous or some shout outs or whatever you wanted to say in regards to the relaunch for Light Within Shadow.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my editor, and who is also my husband, and watches my son whenever he can, within reason, because I want him to rest too, because he works all the time. And, if without his help, I wouldn't be able to draw as much as I do. And the writing would probably suffer too, if I'm being honest. And also, I wanted to shout out Augusta, who is the author of Ill World, author, artist, writer. And I also color for her now. That's more recent development. And again, I mentioned her earlier, but her line work is like god status line work. It's
Oh
really
man,
good. And that's
awesome.
a horror genre comic. So, if you like horror, I would go check that out. Go check out Ill World.
That's so awesome.
And I
Yes.
also just have I'd be here all night if I was talking about people that helped. Like, I won't name everybody because some of them don't also want to be named.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, my beta readers will know who they are, and I greatly appreciate all of you guys for your help and input. And pointing out like, I don't understand this, what's going on, and that helps me fix things. So I really appreciate you guys. And then of course just the reader fan base and just interacting with you guys. It's always been very fun. I appreciate seeing comments. I always do. And if I can't reply to you right away, I'm probably super busy, but no, I saw it and I really appreciate it. And I think that's all that I can think of for now.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Blue. I'm so excited about the successful launch of your rebooted series, Light Within Shadow. All of Blue's information will be linked in the description below, including a link to her webtoon as well as all of her social media. So if you want to follow her to stay up to date with all of the exciting developments for Light Within Shadow, then be sure to check out all of her socials as well as subscribe to her webtoon. So we here at Pantheon Talks just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed yourselves. We're hoping to try and do more events in the future. And so we just want to say, you guys are the reason why we keep doing things like this. The community has been so awesome to us. And thank you to creators like Blue for joining me. So thank you, Blue. And thank you to all of the people who came today. So why don't we both say bye, Blue?
Yeah. Thank you, Apollo, for hosting, and take care, everybody. Have a great Saturday, or if it's Saturday where you are, have a good Sunday.
All right. We'll catch you guys in the next video.